This is Deuteronomy 33 through 34, ESV. This is the blessing with which Moses, the man of God, blessed the people of Israel before his death. He said, "The Lord came from Sinai and dawned from Seir upon us. He shone forth from Mount Paran. He came from the 10,000s of holy ones, with flaming fire at his right hand. Yes, he loved his people. All his holy ones were in his hand. So they followed in your steps, receiving direction from you. When Moses commanded us a law as a possession for the assembly of Jacob, thus the Lord became king in Jerusalem. When the heads of the people were gathered, all the tribes of Israel together, let Reuben live and not die, but let his men be few. And this he said of Judah, Hear, O Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him in to his people. With your hands contend for him, and be a help against his adversaries. And of Levi he said, Give to Levi your Thummim, and your to your godly one, whom you tested at Manasseh, with whom you called at the waters of Meribah, who said of his fathers and mother, I regard them not. He disowned his brothers, and ignored his children. For they observed your word and kept your covenant. They shall teach Jacob your rules, and Israel your law. They shall put incense before you, and whole burnt offerings on your altar. Bless, O Lord, his substance, and accept the work of his hands. Crush the loins of his adversaries, of those who hate him, that they rise not. Of Benjamin he said, The beloved of the Lord dwells in safety. The high God surrounds him all day long, and dwells between his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, Blessed be the Lord, be his land, with the choicest gifts of heaven above, and the deep that crouches beneath, with the choicest fruits of the sun, the rich yield of the months, with the finest produce of the ancient mountains, and the abundance of the everlasting hills, with the best gifts of the earth, and its fullness, in the favor of him who dwells in the bush. May these rest on the head of Joseph, on the pate of him who is prince among his brothers, firstborn bold, his majesty. He has majesty. His horns are the horns of a wild ox. With them he shall gore the peoples, all of them, to the ends of the earth. They are the 10,000s of Ephraim. They are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, Zebulun, is your going out, and Issachar in your tents. They shall call peoples to their mountains. There they offer right sacrifices, for they draw from the abundance of the seas, and the hidden treasures of the sand. And of Gad he said, Blessed is he who enlarges Gad. Gad crouches like a lion, he tears off arm and scalp. He chose the best for the land for himself, for there a commander's portion was reserved. And he came with the heads of the people. With Israel he executed the justice of the Lord, and his judgments for Israel. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's cub that leaps from Bashan. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, sated with favor, and with full of blessing from the Lord, possess the lake in the south. And of Asher he said, Most blessed of sons be Asher. Let him be the favorite of his brothers. Let him dip his foot in oil. Your brothers shall be iron and bronze. And as your days, so shall your strength be. There is none like God, O Jerusalem, who rides through the heavens to your help. Through the skies it is majesty. The eternal God is your dwelling place. And underneath are the everlasting arms. And he thrust out the enemy before you, and said, Destroy. So Israel lived in safety. Jacob lived alone in a land of grain and wine, whose harvest dropped down dew. Happy are you, O Israel, who is like you, a people saved by the Lord, the shield of your help, the sword of your triumph. Your enemies shall come fawning at you, and you shall tread up their backs. Chapter 34. Then Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land, Gilead as far as Dan, all Naphtali, the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, the Negeb and the plain, that is, the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, as far as Zoar. And the Lord said to him, This is the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I will give it to your offspring. I have let you see it with your eyes, but you shall not go over there. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab, according to the word of the Lord. And he buried him in the valley of the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor. But no one knows the place of his burial to this day. Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eye was undimmed, and his vigor unabated. And the people of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. Then the days of weeping and mourning for Moses were ended. And Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands on him. So the people of Israel obeyed him, and did as the Lord had commanded Moses. And there was not arisen a prophet sent in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. None like him, for all the signs and all the wonders that the Lord sent him to do in the land of Israel, to Pharaoh, and to all his servants, and to all his land, and for all the mighty power and all the great deeds of terror that Moses did in the sight of Israel.